The final round of the Silverstone Insurance National Saloon Championship brings the teams back to Silverstone, but this time for a race on the full Grand Prix circuit. It's the only time all year they get the chance to race on this fabulous circuit, and the championship, of course, to be resolved, with Tony Räikkönen and Tobias Massini fighting it out. The last time the cars were in action, though, was on a different Grand Prix circuit. It was Spa-Francorchamps, the home of the Belgian Grand Prix, where the race developed into a great battle for the lead between Simon Harrison and Tony Räikkönen. Although sadly, Tobias Massini and Dan Eves fell out on the first lap. Somehow they all, more or less, managed to miss Massini, but as he plunged down the order, his championship hope was fading away. Matt Kelly was in trouble as well. He managed to bump into a couple of people, and they bumped into him as well. A lengthy pit stop cost him the best part of a lap. And then Duncan Huysman, racing in the Dutch Touring Car Championship, clattered into the barrier. Up front, though, a great battle between Räikkönen and Harrison saw Tony Räikkönen come out on top. And as far as the championship is concerned now, it's between him and Massini. But a place in the top 13 will do it here at Silverstone for the Finn. Matt Kelly, battling for second place in the championship, had his qualifying session get off to a very bad start. The car sounded horrible, and going into Cops Corner, he pulled off the track.
It's the usual Silverstone joy. Car was going fine yesterday. We was close to the Peugeots as we've been all year in the dry, and obviously we've always gone well in the wet. When we tested here 8 weeks ago with them all, we were quickest, and we've just got an engine problem, which has seemed to have been our we've had issues with the engine over the last 2 or 3 meetings, and it seems to be our nemesis at the moment.
So Matt Kelly would start last on the grid. Lee Linford, though, would start 6th with the second of the 2 HTML Peugeots. Tobias Massini, though, fighting to try to win the championship, would start on the inside of row 3, 5th quickest.
We have few problems in practice, so we qualified just 6th. And from 6th to win the race is a long way to go. And also I need him to don't finish, so it's unlikely.
The rain is a great leveller, and here you can see who is good and who's bad. Dan Eves, though, could see very little. The windscreen of the Peugeot steaming up, but he was still 4th quickest. A very impressive third, though, the Alfa Romeo of Gavin Piper.
It's the best qualifying. I love the rain, and the car works well in the rain, and I just had great fun. And when I'm having fun, I'm always fast.
Simon Harrison was fast as well, second fastest in fact, row 1 of the grid.
I think I made a mistake by coming in for a different set of tyres. I think I should have stayed out and utilised that slightly drier period. So I'm a little bit cross, but I'm pleased to be on the front row of the grid. I'm in the right place come the race.
And the man who is alongside him, pole position for Tony Räikkönen, the Finn on target for the title.
I always like rain, and so it sort of started pouring more in the middle, and then I came in, and then it sort of started drying off again and then went out. But then red flag, too many cars out on the gravel, so wasn't any chance to improve it, but I think that was good enough.
Dry conditions then here on race day at Silverstone. The cars lined up on the grid with Räikkönen and Harrison row 1, Gavin Piper and Dan Eves the second row, Tobias Massini and Lee Linford on row 3. The Silverstone Grand Prix circuit then, in ideal conditions, unlike yesterday when this was how little Tony Räikkönen could see, having to peer through an ever steaming up windscreen and also worrying about some very big puddles out, particularly here at Club Corner. Total contrast then, yesterday's weather compared to today. The lights on the gantry are about to go from red to green. Engine notes rise, it's go for the final round of the National Saloon Championship. Good start by Gavin Piper, great start by Roger Moen. Look at him go on the inside there, the red Peugeot, almost being squeezed there by the Alfa Romeo. Slow start though by Tobias Massini, but a great getaway by Roger Moen. And coming up on the other side there of Massini's car was Lee Linford. Down they go towards Copse for the first time. Räikkönen leads then, second is Simon Harrison. They carry 40 and 30 kilos of success ballast respectively after their positions at Spa, and another good start as well being made by Matt Kelly. He's in mid-grid going now round Copse Corner. Leaders then turning their way through the Beckett's S's for the first time. It's Räikkönen in the lead then. Second place is Simon Harrison, third is Roger Moen, and in 4th place there Gavin Piper. So Räikkönen up front as they turn their way now out of Chapel Curve onto the Hanger Straight. Tobias Massini there goes across the grass, right up with Lee Linford, and bang, they touch and they both spin. Massini losing it then, Linford goes off as well. Massini clatters into the barrier, and that is the end of any hope at all of him winning the championship. Lee Linford's HTML Peugeot somewhat battered as well. Tobias Massini tries to rejoin. There you can see the 2 battered cars in the background, and there's more dramas there, look. The 2 Nissans side by side, can he spin? So does Gareth Burnett. Off into the gravel, I think will go Burnett there on the outside of the road. Matt Kelly survives, yes, Burnett in the gravel, and that's Barry Barnes going straight on. Wow! Barry Barnes runs out of road now. Can he get back on the circuit? He's going to have a good go. As Simon Harrison now moves into the lead in the Ford Focus. The GR Motorsport run. Focus leads the Bowman Peugeot. Rukkinen second, Mern third. Fourth is Gavin Piper. It's been a very dramatic first lap here at Silverstone, and it ain't over yet. Rukkinen now looking for the lead. Tries the outside line, coming up into Abbey. On the inside line, though, there is Simon Harrison. They turn left, then right, and Harrison gets all sideways, and off he goes across the grass. Through goes Roger Moen up into second place. That's going to be the lead now. We've had 3 different leaders in a lap. Roger Moen goes ahead now. Simon Harrison second, Rukkinen third. Fourth is Gavin Piper, and Rukkinen goes ahead of the Ford. And look at Dan Eves just round the outside. There goes Gavin Piper. He goes from fourth to third to second. Can he get right round the outside? Yes, he can. Fantastic bit of driving. Gavin Piper goes second. Simon Harrison now tries to take third back off Rukkinen. And Tom Ferrier is there as well, looking the second of the Alfa Romeo 156s. The Alphas have never gone this well. Tremendous to see it. And as they turn their way out of Luffield, Alfa Romeo second then in the hands of Gavin Piper, chasing Roger Moen's Peugeot. And Ferrier goes through as well. Tom Ferrier goes ahead of Tony Rukkinen as they come across the line. Great stuff. Past the pitch then. Roger Moen leading, Gavin Piper with him, and there, look, Barry Barnes' car has eventually become bogged down at Stowe. Also, Gareth Bennett's Nissan is off there, and Toby Immosini has at least survived a lap, although the car, I fear, is coming into the pit lane. Yes, it is. Down the pit road he comes then. Damage to the Mardi Gras Motorsport run Honda Integra. There you can see it very clearly. There's not much left in the front right corner there, hopefully with a bit of tank tape. The sledgehammer, they might get him back out again. Mercedes then down the pit lane. So Roger Moen leading them. Second is Gavin Piper. Third now is Simon Harrison, and Harrison having a look on the inside. And Gavin Piper going for the lead. The Alfa goes through for the first time this year. The Alfa Romeo leads. He goes wide at Club Corner, and Simon Harrison comes back round the outside of him. 4 different leaders we've now had, albeit Gavin Piper only briefly, and Moen's got a problem. Roger Moen slows right down. Harrison leads in the Ford. Second and third, the Alphas of Piper and Ferrier. But now Dan Eves there, looking the first of the yellow Peugeots, attacking Tom Ferrier, coming up towards Abbey. Can he go through? Yes, he can. So Simon Harrison back into the lead. Second is Gavin Piper. Third is Dan Eves. In fourth place is Tom Ferrier. And Lee Linford is out of the race. The car rather crumpled at the front. He's okay. His assailant, Toby Immosini, in the pits. Go! They've lost him a lap, I'm afraid, having to do those repairs. But out into the race once again goes Toby Immosini. Well, the championship hopes are gone, unless something really drastic happens now to Tony Rukkinen. There's Roger Moen getting ever slower and ever slower. Phil Andrews in the black Ford Focus will go ahead of him. The race leaders, though, turn their way into Cops Corner. Tom Ferrier there turned through. He's never gone this well all season. And the youngest man in the race, 18 years of age, Tom Ferrier, powering his way up now towards Maggots. There's Toby Immosini, look, rejoining from the pit lane. And here is a replay of what went wrong on lap 1. To the right of him there is Lee Linford. Lee Linford is ahead, coming now through the Beckett's S's. Through the first part, through the second part, then it'll be left through Chapel Curve. Lee Linford just with his nose in front there. They touch, Immosini goes all over the grass, back on. Bang, into the side, spins the cars round the acceleration. Tom Ferrier lucky to avoid that. Immosini hits the barrier very hard indeed. And so too does Lee Linford. Immosini just able to coax the car back onto the circuit. Lee Linford very definitely out of the race. And of course we've also got these cars sitting in the gravel bed at Stowe Corner. But there's Immosini, look, he gets a little knock off Lee Linford, goes across the grass, back onto the circuit, and wallop right into the side. And they miss Tom Ferrier's Alfa there by inches. We're on board now with Matt Kelly. Remember, he started right at the very back of the grid. And ahead of him there is Roger Moen's Peugeot getting ever sicker. Up the inside goes Matt Kelly. Now Kelly is battling here in the championship to try to take second place away from Toby Immosini. Simon Harrison, race leader then. The Ford Focus hasn't had a win all year, neither has the Alfa Romeo. Can that change today? Dan Eves, though, is in third place. Fourth there is Tom Ferrier. They turn their way through Luffield and Piper goes wide. That gives the opportunity now on the inside line to Dan Eves to try to move ahead. Tom Ferrier there going through in fourth place. The 2 Alphas there run by Gary Ailes, himself a very rapid ex-single-seater and touring car racer. And down they go with a safety car board coming out. Look, the safety car out on track. That means they're all going to have to slow right down. They'll all have to bunch up behind one another and not overtake, although Dan Eves there, look, goes up the inside. Dan Eves goes ahead of Gavin Piper. Well, the yellow flag was out. Anyway, the safety car is on track now. That is so the marshals at Stowe can remove the battered cars from the gravel bed. Dave Allen into retirement, and we'll be back after the break. And Roger Moen in the pits with a problem.
This time there was the gear linkage is jumping off. So you know, remember the Stettin race leading. That was the input shaft broken the gearbox. This time there was the gear linkage. So I think it's 4th or 5th race in a row now in the older season now, leading and not winning because of something happened. But you can be sure next year I will winning. This year I've been terrible. I've been up there all the time. I had so much bad luck. I can't believe it. So I think for next year it'll change.
Well, disappointing Roger Murn out of the race. The race, though, about to get back underway. The safety car pulls into the pit lane. These races, remember, 30 minutes these days. And as the green flag waves once again, there is Tony Rukkinen. Ever closer he is now, of course, to winning this year's championship. The Finn in the Peugeot, 5th as they come across the line. Race order: Harrison, Eves, Piper, Ferrier, Rukkinen. Now there, look, 6th on the road is Toby Immacini. He is a lap behind. In real terms, it's Phil Andrews, who is in 6th place. Tony Rukkinen then making his way up through Maggots. Simon Harrison in the lead of the race. Are we going to see the Ford Focus take its first ever win in the National Saloon Championship? He goes across the curb and spins! Harrison loses it. Off he goes into the gravel. Simon Harrison goes off the circuit. That is most unlike him. Simon Harrison spins out of the race. Another place gained, therefore, for both Massini and Rukkinen, and for Matt Kelly, the 3 drivers battling for the top 3 places in the championship. And so Dan Eves in the lead as they make their way now down towards Stoke Corner. We're on board now with Tony Rukkinen. Ahead of him, Tom Ferrier's Alfa Romeo, and Gavin Piper very good on the brakes there, closing right up onto the tail of Dan Eves as a very disappointed Simon Harrison trudges away. Once again, so close to a win, and yet so far. Now the race leader, Dan Eves, turning his way through Bridgebend, coming under real pressure now from Gavin Piper in the Alfa Romeo. It's led for a corner. Can it be for anything other than that? Down they come towards Brooklands. Gavin Piper goes on the inside line. Can the 156 gain the advantage? Yes! Through he goes. Gavin Piper leads for Alfa Romeo. Through he goes on the inside line, and now Tom Ferrier tries to take 2nd place off Dan Eves as well. Alfa Peugeot coming through Luffield, and for the first time this year, both the 156s are going really well. But now Dan Eves tries to move through on the inside line now. Back he goes, back up front. Gavin Piper falls to 2nd place, but he's right on the tail there of the Peugeot. Tom Ferrier going through in 3rd place. He's got Rukkinen tucked right up behind him as well. And diving down towards Copse Corner, the 2 Alfa Romeo 156 is going better than ever. Gavin Piper runs a little bit wide there. Yellow flags, look, on the run up towards Beckett's. After this happened to Simon Harrison. A little bit too quickly into the first part of the Beckett's as he runs out of road onto the grass. He goes back on, the back comes round and spins off into the gravel. And that, of course, a very high-speed spin indeed. Simon Harrison then out of the race. Now, Gavin Piper falling away, it seems, from Dan Eves. And Tom Ferrier trying to take up the cudgels on behalf of Alfa Romeo, looking on the inside line there. A glorious sight. The 2 156s running together, going up now towards Luffield. And Tom Ferrier looking for a way past his teammate. The 2 blood-red Alphas then making their way up towards Woodcote Corner. Whilst they're squabbling like this, Dan Eves is pulling away. And up towards the line they come now. Gavin Piper just ahead there of Tom Ferrier. They make their way under the footbridge down towards Copse, and Tony Rukkinen, of course, trying to benefit now from this little battle going on ahead to move through and gain at least 1 place. Gavin Piper goes wide at Copse Corner. Ferrier goes through. Tom Ferrier up into 2nd place, up into 3rd now goes Tony Rukkinen. Now Gavin Piper, did he run wide or has he got a problem? Let's see. Up they go through Maggots on towards Beckett's. Is it going to be a Peugeot 1-2 or can Tom Ferrier hang on in there? Coming now out of Beckett's. Gavin Piper, I think, just ran a bit too wide there. He's staying in touch with Rukkinen. Looking to try to fight back now as they make their way onto the Hangar Straight. The Peugeot 306 has been the car to beat all season, and never before have we had the 2 Alfa Romeos going this well, and they're disappearing off into the gravel. Number 12 is Paolo Cecchi, and Desmond Smale goes with him. It's like rallycross. The pair of them rocket through the gravel bed, back onto the circuit. Wet gravel doesn't always slow the cars down, and there was the proof of it. In one end and out the other. Out of Club Corner there, the battle for 2nd place. Tom Ferrier versus Tony Rukkinen. Ferrier on the inside line there, trying to fend off the yellow Peugeot, going up towards Abbey. Tony Rukkinen on the outside line. Can he go right past Ferrier? No, he can't. The Alfa Romeo hangs on in there. The 4-door Saloon fends off the hot hatch as they turn their way down towards Bridgebend. The 2 Bigazzi-built 156s raced in Italy last year, developed around Michelin tyres. They run on Dunlops in this championship, and it's taken the team a little bit of time, really, in getting everything set right up on these cars. The Peugeot 306 ran in the championship last year, and Vic Lee and the team at Bowman have taken a good car and made it even better. Peugeot won the Manufacturers Award at Spa, and Tony Rukkinen now is only a matter of laps away from winning the driver's title here at Silverstone as well. New 2nd place man, though, is Tom Ferrier. 3rd, Tony Rukkinen, and Gavin Piper 4th as they come across the line. 5 different leaders we've had so far in this race, and it has been a race full of action. Down towards Copse Corner they go, with now the gap opening up between first and second. Dan Eaves versus Tom Ferrier. Then, tucked up behind Tom Ferrier is Tony Rookenham. They turn their way out of Copse now, and Gavin Piper is certainly losing touch just by a length or two now. Side by side for second though this time, going up towards Maggot and going, yes, through there. Look on the inside line, Tony Rookenham takes over second place from Tom Ferrier. Diving through Beckett, Rookenham goes a bit wide and Ferrier tries to go back ahead of him, but he can't do it. Tony Rookenham, the Finn, fends off Tom Ferrier, who last year was racing in Formula Renault. The two of them nose to tail now, making their way onto the Hanger Straight. Now all of that little battle means that Dan Eaves is yet further away, but Gavin Piper is closer once again there in 4th place. Down they come, into Stowe Corner. Hard on the brakes, into the right-hander. Gavin Piper dives up the inside, he gets past Ferrier. Can he get past Rookenham? No, he can't. The two Alphas swap order once again. Swinging their way out of Club Corner, Gavin Piper goes back up into 3rd place. 4th, Tom Ferrier, and now he tries the outside line, coming down towards Club Corner. About to turn their way into the left-handed element that leads you into the right, long right-hander of Club Corner. The two Alphas almost side by side again there. Ferrier tries to go up the inside of Gavin Piper's car, absolutely together, the pair of them now, and they make the run up towards Abbey. Side by side, on the outside there is the Alpha with the pink elephant on the bonnet of Tom Ferrier, and right up alongside and locking up there seemingly is Gavin Piper. Looks as though there was tyre smoke, but then the car is slow coming through Abbey. And let's just see, there is Ferrier accelerating towards us, and where is Piper? It was not tyre smoke, it was mechanical smoke, because there the car look is a long way back this time, and Gavin Piper on a different line has got yet another problem. All the reliability woes have gone his way this year, I'm afraid, and Gavin Piper turns his way into the stadium offline. The car at a much reduced pace now, turning its way into the left-hander of Brooklands, and the Scotsman is heading for the pit lane and for retirement. On board now with Toby and Massini. He turns his way up towards Luffield. Gavin Piper there looks to the right. He'll dive into the pit lane in a moment, and Toby and Massini will gain another place. It doesn't help him a great deal as far as winning the championship is concerned. It might just give him a chance of keeping second, although the way that Matt Kelly is going here suggests that Matt is going to be okay to finish as a runner-up in this year's championship. So Gavin Piper down the pit lane, a race that promised much. He led it very briefly, but in the end he doesn't finish. But there you can see another good battle going on between Nick James, then the JS Motorsport ran Alpha of Danny Wright, and tucked up behind the pair is Rick Kramer's Ford Focus that started from the pit lane and hasn't got a clutch. Rick Kramer now diving up on the inside, trying to displace Danny Wright, side by side down the straight, but Wright's Alpha hangs onto the place, turning through Copse Corner. So Danny Wright's 156 going well, but poor old Gavin Piper yet again is in trouble and out of the race.
Gearbox problems, the linkage broke. It was giving me a few problems throughout the race, and then finally it just gave way, so I've retired once more. I could stay up with the Focus and the Peugeots, and then we had the problem, so I started to drop back in front of Tom Ferrier, and he got past me unfortunately, but it's a good show for Alpha, and it's not a bad showing apart from the result.
It's been an excellent showing for Alfa Romeo, but it's a good one too for Peugeot, because here comes Dan Eaves on target now to win the race, and Tony Rookenham on target to win the Silverstone Insurance National Saloon Championship this year. Oh, and for good measure, Peugeot has already won the Manufacturers Award as well. They had a pretty torrid time in touring car racing, but in National Saloons, Peugeot is about to repay all the faith. Here they come then, the two Peugeots, first and second, and Tom Ferrier is going to be on the podium for the first time this year. He's right on the tail of Tony Rookenham as they turn their way now up towards Luffield. Ferrier then swinging his way through the right-hander, but Dan Eaves comes through now then to score his 3rd win in this year's National Saloon Championship. He comes up to take the checkered flag now to win here at Silverstone. He's been the ideal teammate to this man, Tony Rookenham, who crosses the line now to win this year's championship, and the Peugeot team is delighted. Tom Ferrier finishing in 3rd place here at Silverstone, with Phil Andrews for 4th. Matt Kelly is on target for 5th place, despite being caught by Nick James, and that should be good enough now to give Kelly 2nd place in the championship. Well, Dan Eaves has been the perfect teammate. Remember back in August, he pulled aside to let Tony Rookenham through to win the race, and in the end, it's all gone right for Rookenham. Matt Kelly, though, is under great pressure from Nick James. This is Nick's best showing of the season, on target for a place in the top 6, but Matt Kelly can just about, I reckon, hang on to 5th. Yeah, but only by about 2 lengths as the Project Motorsport run. Nissan Primera comes across the line now to finish 5th in the race and 2nd in the championship. Nick James finishing in 6th ahead of Danny Wright's Alfa Romeo. Rick Kramer, Kevin